Hello, my name is Rodney Conner from the Tech Spot Network, bringing you a review of the Kyocera DuraForce. This is one neat phone. I have to give it to AT&T and Kyocera for meeting up to deliver a great phone to their subscribers. This is, as every other phone that now gets released, pretty much a 4G LTE phone. It is shipped with 4.4 version of Android, which is known as KitKat. 1.4 gigahertz processor powers this lovely little device with a quad-core processor, so it's got a lot of processing power in the background for sure. 2 gigabytes of RAM, just for a phone like this, not bad at all. 16 gigabytes up to 16 gigabytes of internal storage, up to 32 gigabytes of external storage. If you use this lovely little, I don't know how well you can see it on the camera there, but there's a little opening port there where you can put your, well, first your SIM card goes in there, and then you can put a micro SD card in as well. The battery, this is when it really gets good. Battery, 3100 milliamp hour non-removable battery. I know a lot of people anymore, they really don't like the non-removable battery. That's always been, especially been an Android thing. But I think with as durable as this phone is, I would be willing to give that up just to have a phone that I know if I throw this on the floor right now, it's going to be just fine. Back to the battery, 17 hours talk time, 21 days. Yes, I did say days of standby time. Now that is a long time. I could tell you that I've had this phone about a week now. I have not charged it yet, and I am still up at 77%, and that's after using it some. I haven't really talked on it any, but I have played, videos, photos, recording videos, things like that, as I always do with every demo phone. The camera is pretty streamlined with the market the way it is now. 8 megapixel camera on the back with a LED flash, another pretty standard feature, which of course comes with autofocus, a 4x digital zoom, and this, again, as most other phones, 1080p recording and playback. The front camera, 2 megapixel, a 4x digital zoom. The screen, 4.5-inch full HD screen, and it is extremely clear. I can't emphasize that enough. Oh my. I was watching some YouTube videos earlier today on this phone, and it's just absolutely miraculously clear. I almost forgot that I was watching the movie on a phone. The only, the biggest giveaway on this phone, or takeaway I guess I'll say, is it does come in at just over 7 ounces. I mean, just take a listen. They don't usually sound that loud when they hit the table. I mean, compared to my iPhone. Okay, well, pretty close. But anyway, some additional features that do come with the phone. It has a built-in Wi-Fi, of course. Now, this is a little different. 802.11a, B, G, N, A, C, R, and K. Now, those last two, R and K, are more of a roaming style of Wi-Fi connection. So, not very popular. However, it is there if you do happen to need it. Bluetooth 4.0, Near Field Communications Chip, or NFC. Some neat features that I really liked about this phone now that I've got past all the specifications. First and foremost was what's called the smile shutter. This phone actually, if you tell it to do so, it will take your picture when it detects that you're giving a good smile. Could be a little bit give or take depending on your type of smile. It comes with another neat feature called Enhanced Push to Talk. That brings us back to the old days of, we'll say, another brand, which you could just press a button and talk to somebody. This button here on the side can be customized to be used as the push-to-talk button. Just press and hold, and it gives you a little beep, and you're talking to your other push-to-talk capable person that you're calling. That button can be programmed as well, or since we're talking about the button, it can be programmed to pretty much any feature that you select in the phone, in the menus, in the settings. Let's see, what other good things did I like? Well, first off, this is definitely the workman's phone for sure. In loud, noisy environments, the last thing you're able to do, or most people assume that you can't do, is talk on a cell phone. They at Kyocera did a whole lot of neat stuff. I'm sorry for the pause there. I just couldn't find a way to describe how neat this is. They have put in this phone what's called a smart sonic receiver. Basically what that is, it allows you to hear the call in very noisy environments. It actually turns the sound into vibrations that your eardrum can hear, because actually technically your eardrum hears vibrations, not literal sound. Sound is vibration. So what it does is it converts sound that you can't quite hear into vibrations, making it easier to hear. Even in a lousy environment where it's really noisy out there, you can still hear and understand. The other good part on the other end of that spectrum, okay, yes, you can hear just fine, but what about the people on the other end? This phone has built-in noise-canceling dual microphones, and it works really good for canceling out that outside noise in loud environments. Another thing about loud, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's two speakers here. Dual front-facing stereo speakers that can be activated during a phone call that work as a speakerphone with just one tap of this little button up here on top. That will activate the speakerphone and get as loud as 100 decibels. If you don't know how much that is, essentially 100 decibels is close to standing about 6.5 feet away from a jackhammer. Now that is quite loud. The touchscreen, now this is something else that is really, really neat. The touchscreen can be used while you're wearing, let's say, work gloves, for example. The touchscreen will actually still work while working with work gloves. Also, wet conditions, not a problem. And the last thing that I haven't mentioned, well, slightly, the rugged design. It's not, if it's not already obvious just in the video here, this thing is really built for the rugged user. First, it is rated at military standard 810G, which basically that stands for the fact that it is resistance against shock, drop, vibration, humidity, temperature, and these are all extreme, by the way, and even altitude, including an IP68 certification, which in fancy terms that means it's waterproof and dustproof. The waterproof is only good for 30 minutes is what Kyocera rates it at, but in most cases you probably can get a little more out of it, but this is probably more for the user. You know, one video on the AT&T site shows a runner that does the mud runs, for example, gets a little wet during those runs. Or there's another person that uses the phone as a timer, dives in the water while holding their phone. How many times do you see that? Well, anyway, a couple of other things. I could not get, for some reason I had a technical issue, go figure. I could not get my video and my video and photos to upload that I personally took with this device. However, I will just give you my word, they're incredible. Photo taking ability on this phone is just exquisite. I couldn't ask for a better photo taking experience, I guess, if you want to word it that way. Video, same way, very responsive. A lot of times with phones in recent years that have moved up to the full HD recording, couldn't quite handle that fast movement. Well, this guy can. So I guess you'll have to take my word for it. Speaking about call quality earlier, very clear call quality. I did test it out briefly, but didn't really play on it a whole lot. One last thing I want to give you a small demonstration for here on the home screen here. See, it says swipe. It says swipe to an option. Basically, it's essentially like a loading dashboard. I don't know what to really call it, and I probably should have looked that up, and I apologize. But basically, you can just quickly swipe to, say, the camera, to just open the phone normally, or even go straight to the phone function. See, there I am, there on the phone. That's really all I have for you for this review of the Kyocera, I can never say that, Kyocera DuraForce. My name is Rodney Conner from the Tech Spot Network. You can catch this review and others there at tsnet.tv.